Good morning. My name's Blake. I had spoke to Lonnie about sharing a testimony, and after I spoke to him, I really didn't know what to say. I was really nervous about it. I hadn't shared my full testimony with anybody. It's always just been bits and pieces. So I prayed about it, and what I got was, so there's 4 defining moments in my life that I feel was necessary for me to get saved, that I feel God put in my place in order to lead me to Him. So when I was 17 years old, I discovered meth, and at the time it was amazing. It made me feel great. I had confidence. I was, I just felt wonderful. It was awesome. But it didn't take long before I realized that thing that had made me feel so good had become my prison. I found myself slowly falling into this overwhelming darkness that I could not find a way out of. And this went on for years, for a long time. Some of this is kind of hard to share, but it went on for a long time. And one night I found myself, I didn't believe in God through all of this. I had no belief in God. I didn't want anything to do with it. And one night I found myself in a camper with no water, no electricity, and I was trying to shoot up. I had a needle in my arm and I couldn't find a vein. I had stabbed myself probably about 50 times. And I looked down and I saw the blood running from my arms. I hit my knees. I said, please just make it stop. I didn't know who I was talking to. I just needed a way out. The next day, I found myself on the way to Tucson. I was going to rehab. Unfortunately, it didn't stop there. Although I had God in my life then, or in my heart, I had a belief in Him then, but I hadn't given my life over to Him completely. I ended up relapsing after about 3.5 months, and it continued on, the darkness, and I was robbing people, I was stealing, I was just, everything bad that I could possibly do, I was doing it. And that continued on for years, and then I finally met somebody that made me want to be a better me. Although we were both addicted to drugs, I started doing better in my life. I started kind of wanting to be better, and I actually started playing with the thought of getting sober and getting away from it all. I ended up going to jail over some unpaid fines, and 2 days later they came in and told me that they had found her dead in our living room floor. She had been murdered. And when I heard that, I got plunged right back into the darkness that I was wanting so bad to get out of. I wanted out of it so bad, but I got pushed right back into it, and I completely lost myself more than I ever had before. And once again, it continued on for years and years. And one night I had a gentleman come into my home, and he was there to kill me. I had my name on a hit list, and he attacked me with a machete. I caught the machete by the blade, and I fought back. I walked out of the hospital with 136 stitches, 2 centimeters away from my jugular vein. And you'd think that would have been enough for me to just give it all up. It wasn't. The next day I was right back out there, getting high, stitches in my head, my hands. I was right back out there getting high. That wasn't enough. So I continued on that same path over and over. It just seemed like a never-ending process, just revolving door. Then I'd gotten myself in some real trouble. I was facing 5 years, and I had had enough. I couldn't do it anymore. The judge told me that they weren't going to let me out because of my record. I have a history not showing up for court and all that good stuff. And I hit my knees. I said, Lord, I can't do it anymore. I don't want to be this way anymore. I said, it doesn't matter if I go to prison. None of it matters. I'm yours from here on out. I don't want to do this anymore. That was over 2 years ago when I truly surrendered to God, and I haven't touched anything since. Since then, God has blessed me with a great job, a beautiful wife who I'm so in love with. I just had a baby 3 weeks ago. Beautiful little girl. I have my other daughter. The blessings in my life are just astronomical now. Now I focus on using what I've experienced in my past to help others that may be struggling with it. I put on the armor of Christ and I go back into that darkness that I'm so familiar with, and I try to help others out because I know all of it was for a reason. So Christ Church, when you see me up there in the front row hopping around like I just found a basket of kittens, it's because I'm finally free. I'm finally free from the darkness that consumed me for so long. Thank you.